Ladies and gentlemen, inductee Garland R. Franks. From the Book of Outstanding College Athletes of America, 1971, with an introduction written by Paul Bear Bryant, quoting part of his introduction, you would not have been nominated as one of the outstanding college athletes if you weren't a winner. Now I challenge each of you one step further along the line. Help someone else learn these values. And once you've done that, you truly will be a winner in the game of life. Our inductee was nominated that year as one of the outstanding athletes in America and has truly heeded the advice given by the coach, as you'll see and hear in the next few moments. This most valuable junior college basketball player in Alabama had the following listed about him in the book: DAR basketball 1960 through 65, baseball 63 through 65, other honors all Marshall County, all district, and all state 64 through 65, MVP state basketball tournament 1965, and the all-Marine basketball team 1968. Born March 12, 1947, parents Joe Wheeler and Grace Bryan Franks, the little fella had a ball in his hands from an early age. Garland Franks was named the most valuable player of the 1965 state basketball tournament. 2 years in a row, he was voted all-county, all-area, all-region, and all-state. Jerry Estill, Birmingham Post-Herald sports writer, wrote of Garland Franks receiving the MVP of the state basketball tournament 1965. DAR had just defeated Moundville for the state championship. Garland Franks began his basketball career at DAR High School 12 years ago as a first grader, and it climaxed here Saturday afternoon in Foster Auditorium, choking back grateful tears when he heard his name called as the most valuable player in the state basketball tournament. There might have been players in the tournament that scored more points than Franks, but no one could complain with the choice, which had made little Garland Franks, for a moment, the biggest man in his world. He felt the immensity of the thing, too, when he heard his name called. Some of the people sitting nearby felt it with him when they saw the lad, the same one that moments before had been a tiger on the court, take an unbelieving step back before the reality took hold, and he had to start blinking hard to hold back an emotion that athletes are not supposed to show. But Franks showed it for just an instant, and that moment made 3 full days of watching basketball wonderful for those of us that caught it. A young man had the world by a string for an instant, and anything that can bring that about is more than just a game. You ever get a chance to look at a youngster when he takes that big step to the top of the world, by all means do. It's a wonderful experience. It's an experience you can get at games sometimes. When he was first grader at DAR, the team played in the old log gym using a chalkboard to keep score because there was not enough money for an electric scoreboard. It was back in the days when Garland Franks was known mainly as Dude Franks' little brother. Dude was one of the best players the school ever had, and Garland was always at the gym hanging out with the boys. And with Dude, there was Billy Joe Cooper and all the other basketball stars. Well, the school decided to raise money for a scoreboard clock, and the coach at the time was Jay Wharton. Garland was a pretty good little buck dancer, real good for his size, and they let the little fella dance at intermission. And the DAR fans would throw money out on the floor to put in the clock fund. And those in charge would tell the crowd that he'll keep on dancing, just keep throwing the money. The money that came in was a substantial amount, and it went toward paying for the first electric scoreboard clock at DAR. Here on the front row, the third from the left, is Garland Franks and some of his DAR teammates. Front row, left to right, first person is Lewis Patterson. Roy Franks is second, first cousin to Garland. Garland is third. Henry Click is next. Dwight Rice, Ricky Mara, David Anderson, Jerry Shelton, Donald Smith, Billy Ledbetter, Hall of Famer, Donald Harden, Wade Benton. Wade, the last player there, standing next to Coach John Kitchens. He was injured in the state tournament, or else we'd have won the state tournament championship that year instead of finishing as the runner-up, said Coach John Kitchens. The next year, with these players returning, Lewis Patterson, Garland Franks, Henry Click, Ricky Mara, and Billy Ledbetter, they would be joined by Charles Kirkland, Ray Parker, Johnny Harden, Roger Harding, Jimmy Keller, Leonard Corbin, and Ray Mara, and they would win it all. Here, two future Marshall Hall of Fame players, Billy Ledbetter on the left and Garland on the right, sign up for college basketball. But Garland's college career was to be interrupted by Vietnam. A former U.S. Marine platoon sergeant, Garland came through Vietnam unharmed, although his outfit was inflicted with heavy casualties. From the Advertiser-Gleam archives, the following story. They killed 1,200 Khmer. Garland R. Franks, former DAR basketball star, participated in Operation Prairie near the DMZ demilitarized zone between North and South Vietnam. The operation is the Marine Corps' largest to date in Vietnam and has accounted for over 1,200 enemy killed. Corporal Frank's battalion has left the operational zone after 52 days there and has established a battalion command post about 30 miles southwest of Da Nang. Garland was with the 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. 12 days into the operation, a mortar attack inflicted heavy casualties, but Garland came through unharmed. His basketball career resumed at Northwest Junior College, followed by a grant aid at Athens State. Here is a write-up of one of his games just back home from Vietnam. After a year of dodging enemy bullets in Vietnam, ex-Marine Garland Franks doesn't let anything like a close basketball game make him lose his cool. For the 2nd consecutive game, the former Marine platoon sergeant came up with the key play to lead his undefeated Northwest Vikings to another victory, this time 87-80 over Calhoun Monday night. Franks, who served with the famed 5th Marine Regiment, saw a lot of combat action during his year in Vietnam. He scored a free throw and a crucial field goal in the waning moments to break open a tie game and propel his team to a victory. He's a coach on the floor, said the Northwest coach. Last Saturday night against Gadsden, he made the assist that won us the game. Before that, he scored 12 straight to help us beat Brewer. Next, he joined a couple of other Marshall County stars at Athens State, Ronald King of Arab and Butch Looney of Gunnersville. Butch Looney was the first black athlete to star in Marshall County after integration, and he was the first integrated star in basketball and football at Marshall County High School here in Gunnersville. Butch said this about Garland Franks at Athens State. He was a great leader, a good ball handler, and everybody liked him. Ronald King played for Snead coach John Kitchens, and today he's the girls basketball coach at Hazel Green. Today, Sergeant Garland Franks serves as a canine officer at the Limestone Correctional Facility. Limestone has a team of 3 handlers whose sole duty is training the prison's 29 tracking dogs, mostly beagles and a few hounds. The dog handlers are Sergeant Garland Franks on the left, Sergeant Paul Brown on the right, and Captain Tony Holliday in the center. The Limestone tracking dog team has twice won awards from the FBI. Sergeant Franks was one of the handlers in both those tracking assignments. He and Sergeant Brown tracked down notorious killer Charles Stewart, who was on the FBI's most wanted list. Captain Holliday and Sergeant Franks earned a 2nd FBI commendation after tracking down one of the St. Clair 6 escaped prisoners in Tennessee. The FBI agent who presented the awards told them it was the first time in his 15 years with the agency that he knew of dogs and handlers earning FBI awards. Garland, pictured here on the left, the warden has praised Franks for countless hours working with the dogs and helping apprehend escapees and felons along with lost children and elderly people. Currently, Franks speaks on prison life to church groups and does presentations for the state trooper tactical teams. Today, he has 2 sons, Garland Jr., age 26, just starting out in the police academy at Huntsville, and 13-year-old son Tyler. It's been said of the little buck dancer that he did not often lead the team in scoring or in rebounding, but the men who knew the game said his floor play was unexcelled in high school basketball. His coach, John Kitchens, says he was the 2nd best basketball player in the history of Marshall County, and he's the best basketball player I ever coached. Ladies and gentlemen, inductee Garland R. Franks.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to see all of y'all here tonight. Boy, there's some great athletes around here tonight. I'm proud to be one of them. And I'd like to thank the committee and everybody for allowing me to be among its elite group. There's a lot of thank yous deserving to everybody, but I'd especially like to thank my family. My sister Judy, my nieces and nephews, my wife Patricia, and my son Ray for being here tonight. I'm just real proud that I'm among this elite group, and I thank all of y'all for coming tonight. Thank you very much.